Okay, alright, here we go. So this was my second match in the Modern League I did earlier today. Honestly, when I was trying to record it, I recorded Nico Bolas's image for like 3 minutes. So after I realized that, I figured, you know what, I'll just go ahead and click through it and show you what happened. Alright, so obviously, opponent is on hammer time. So, you know, of course I hit him with good luck, have fun, started the match. Played turn 1, turn 2, you know, go get drawn. Alright, I guess we'll just do the click-in route. So opponent played Inkmoth Nixus, and I already knew, okay, if I didn't do something about Inkmoth, I was dead. So first choice was to go get Sorceria Spyglass. And then afterwards, put Sorceria Spyglass out, name Inkmoth Nixus, that way, you know, I wouldn't die instantly. From 11 infect damage next turn. And I got the slot, see what was in their hand, Cranial Plating, Hammer, and the reverse was revealed at that point in time. Also Pure Steel Paladin. But pretty much my opponent was kind of stacked, honestly. But, you know, that doesn't mean we stopped playing, so I just kept on playing. Pure Steel hit the field. And I was like, okay, I kind of need to get rid of Pure Steel, right? Let's see if I could see what I chose here. Probably the Walking Ballista? Just like Pure Steel? I don't know. I'm just looking at the game here trying to figure out what I chose. Oh, I chose the Snaring Bridge. I guess the reason why is I was trying to dump my hand ASAP. I probably played Wormcore here. Since I do know with Hammer, you know, creatures lose flying and stuff. So I'll just go ahead and get Wormcore out there. And then, of course, go ahead and get Spear out there as well. Alright, let's see what the opponent did. Alright, so it looks like... Oh, yeah, I do need to click the button, huh? Alright, so he just played a Saga and then passed turn back to me. And of course now I'm like, oh shoot, I can play in Snaring Bridge, I could dump as many cards out of my hand as possible. So that was my goal at this point in time, so of course, Serum Powder because it adds mana. Snaring Bridge, then I went ahead and used the Chromatic Sphere for the green mana to go ahead and play Oath. And like I was really debating if I should fail fetch here. When I saw the tower, I was like, I haven't played a land for the turn yet, so let me go ahead and grab it. But went ahead and plus on Karn. And here I just wanted to see what was coming up next, so I went ahead and sacked Chromatic Star. I saw all his dust in hand, and I was like, okay, now I'm feeling kind of safe. I wonder if I kept this. Nope, I didn't keep the second all of dust. I went ahead and kept Cascading Cataracts. The reason for it though is because all his dust was about to destroy all colored permanents. Or I should say the controllers were about to sack all colored permanents. So that would get rid of Pure Steel and Sigarda's Aid. So yeah, I was pretty excited about that. I saw opponents using Silent Clearing there, just trying to draw into some more options, and I was like, okay, now I'm feeling pretty secure in this match. So like you guys can imagine here, I was debating between playing Doubling Season and next turn trying to Nicol Bolas, or just all his dust. And I'm fairly certain I just went ahead and used all his dust. Alright, so I got Forsaken Monument first though. I got recommended Forsaken Monument by It's Too Small 6 y'all on Twitch. Streams pretty frequently, and quite honestly, ever since I put Forsaken Monument in, I've used it and it's always been great. So here my opponent tried to play Swift Boots and see if it would make his creature have hexproof, which it did, but since I wasn't targeting his creature, it actually let me go ahead and, or it forced it to be sacrificed. Then I realized I had enough mana to cast Karn, so yeah, went ahead and casted Karn, got a Walking Ballista. And then we just move on from there. Opponent finally found a 0-cost artifact creature and played Sigarda's Aid and Shapeshifter's Gift. So I'm pretty sure at this point in time they had, what, 2 hammers in hand? So I was like, okay, I need to find a way to stop them ASAP. Or I need to, you know, cast Walking Ballista and snipe the Ornithopter and kill it. Or and force them to have to, you know, attach the hammer to it or whatever. Just keep it alive. But then Ensnaring Bridge would stop it from attacking. So I feel like I was in a pretty good position there. Let's see about the second game. Alright, so game two. Of course, like you guys can imagine, I am on the draw here. And of course, I keep a hand that gets a Tron relatively quickly, especially in a match like this. Opponent started off great. I mean, just amazing with a creature out there on the battlefield already. I do have all of this, but like you all know, with Hammer Time, it is just ridiculously fast. Turn 1, Sigardia's Egg and Memnite. Turn 2, Stoneforge Mystic, and he went to look for another hammer. And he played an Ornithopter. And attacked me for 1, so went down to 19. And like you guys can imagine, I just try to get Tron online. So fetched my tower. And then all the hurt came in. Opponent just played Colossus Hammer times 1. Colossus Hammer times 2. And lo and behold, game was over before I even got to turn 3. But that is the way that Modern is, so I am not surprised. Well, let's go to game number 3. Alright, so now I am on the play here. Mulligan a couple times, pretty much got down to just Tron and then Prime Great Creator, so I felt like I was sitting pretty great there. When I thought to turn 1, Sigardia's 8 again, I was like, oh my gosh, he's just so fast. Lucky for me though, I do have Crown Great Creator in hand, and since I mulligan down so much, I feel like Ensnaring Bridge would even be greater. So he turned 2 and used the Colossus Hammer on me. But I felt like that was pretty good because that means that he didn't have a lot of outs, in my eyes. He also only had 3 more cards left in hand, so of course here, Ensnaring Bridge was definitely my go-to. So from here, pretty much just a waiting game of, okay, can I find what I need to find to stay alive? So I was just trying to make sure I keep as small amount of cards in hand as possible. Also, I did not really want to make Hammer into a creature. That way it would unequip itself, but I felt like it was just better off just leaving it attached to something because there's no way he would have 8 mana to change it unless he had Pure Steel in play. But then also, Trading Post is something new that I added to this deck for the league. Trading Post and Forsaken Monument. And I actually got a chance to see Trading Post in action, you know what I'm saying? I got to play it, and then after I played it, discarded my Samuel Tested, which meant that Ensnaring Bridge was even more of a challenge for my opponent to get past. So they had to find a creature that had 0 power, and sure enough, they did. But then now I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm going up to 18 life. Can they kill me in 1 turn? Most likely not, because Ink Moss can't attack, so they cannot deal infect damage, and they only have 3 cards in hand. So I was just slowly going on here, turn by turn. Okay, when I saw the Mishra's Bobble, I was like, okay, they must be kind of running out of options here. And here I was thinking to myself, if they do go ahead and kill Karn and, you know, flash in a Colossus Hammer, it would only work for 1 turn, right? Which is absolutely amazing. So it was either kill Karn here, or let Karn survive, and then I would fetch up some more artifacts from my sideboard that would just, you know, completely get me ahead in this game. But they chose to kill Karn, and then sure enough, I drew into another card, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I think I might actually win this match. think here at this point in time, I just went ahead and got, let's see, if I can get up with my liquid metal coating, I was just going to destroy lands, making sure ink moth never became a thing, because he could not attack with anything else. And opponent played Pure Steel Paladin. Alright, so with Pure Steel, everything has metal craft. So he could unattach it, reattach it to wherever he wanted. So basically the play here was just to make sure cards stayed in play the entire time. Alright, so he did not attack. I went ahead and made myself, 0 on goat choking. Or I think when I was doing the commentary of the actual match, I said I went ahead and made, a goat, which is the greatest of all times. Just to be out there as a defender. And then I drew into all of the dust, so I was like, well, might as well use it. Get rid of Sigarda's Aid and Pure Steel Paladin. So at this point in time, I felt pretty safe again. Opponent played Stoneforge and got another hammer. I was just like, oh, yep, let me make another go. And then I got a Walking Ballista. Then I decided to play Walking Ballista, just start sniping Stoneforge, the Mem Knight. Pretty much my goal was just to get rid of everything that they could use to, get under my bridge. Then let's see. At this point in time, my opponents started kind of getting salty. They were like, you really top deck 3 in a row. And I was just kind of like, what are you talking about? I'm just playing. But what they were saying is I top decked everything I needed 3 turns in a row. And I was just like, well, I guess it's addicted on me. And that was the end of it. But yeah, opponent ended the game kind of salty. But for sure, if things did not go how they did, I would have lost this game easily. I think they also kind of did not go as well as they normally do, which is why the opponent was kind of salty, but, it is how Magic the Gathering is sometimes, so I'll take the win. But yeah, this was definitely a challenging game. Ensnaring Bridge MVP, Congreve Creator, and Trading Post coming in clutch. So yeah, this game just felt like it was just good. Alright, so this was game number 2. See you all in the next video. Y'all watch the rest of this league. But yeah, for sure, I think this was one of the more definitive matches where it was either you have it or you don't. But there's another match that came up in the leagues that it was just super close, and I just happened to top deck the right card. Because it was either top deck it or just lose. So, y'all keep watching the rest of this league. I'm sure you guys will see what match that is, and trust me, it is amazing. Alright, later peeps.